This is Zimbabwe's $100 trillion note, but it worths only 40 cents. This is the highest denomination of currency ever printed, with 14 zeros. Zimbabwe was experiencing a situation of hyperinflation. The peak month of hyperinflation occurred with a rate estimated at 79.6 billion% per month. But what were the reasons that created this situation? On 18th April 1980, Zimbabwe gained its independence from the United Kingdom. Initially, the newly introduced Zimbabwean dollar was more valuable than the United States dollar. In its early years, Zimbabwe experienced strong growth and development. Wheat production was high, tobacco industry was thriving, and economic indicators for the country were strong. Everything was going well. But in the late 1990s, the government introduced land reforms in the name of anti-colonialism. Through this, they intended to evict white landowners and place their holdings in the hands of black farmers. However, many of the new farmers had no experience or training in agriculture. From 1999 to 2009, the country experienced a sharp drop in food production. With the crash of agriculture sector, other sectors also collapsed. Unemployment rose to 80%. The supply of goods was very low and the demand was high. This resulted in the skyrocketing prices of goods. In this situation, what would you do if you were the president? You would probably work on the solutions to solve this problem. However, the Zimbabwe government was printing money to finance military involvement in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This all created a situation of hyperinflation. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe responded to the increasing prices of the goods and printed more and more money. This made the situation even worse. The currency continued to lose value. Currency in Zimbabwe was so devalued that you needed a big stack of high-denomination bills to buy a loaf of bread. The worst of the inflation occurred in 2008. In the same year, the $100 trillion note was introduced. The peak month of hyperinflation occurred in mid-November, with a rate estimated at 79.6 billion% per month, with the year-over-year inflation rate reaching 89.7 sextillion%. Finally, a solution effectively adopted by Zimbabwe was to adopt some foreign currency. In January 2009, the Finance Ministry lifted the restriction to use only Zimbabwean dollars. Citizens were allowed to use the US dollar, the euro, and the South African rand. The government abandoned printing Zimbabwean dollars entirely. The government also used a restriction on bank withdrawal to try to limit the amount of money that was in circulation. Since then, Zimbabwe has used a combination of foreign currencies, mostly US dollars.